Russia, the real reason I personally, again, personal, believe, look, I guess I got it ahead of myself. Hi, je suis Ali, Anna Alex. My name is Alex Bressler. I'm the CEO of Orca Oshi Capital Management with my extraordinary partner, Ronnie, shout out, who's always making sure behind the scenes work impeccably, and an electronic dance music DJ. All right, let's jump right in because this is exciting to myself. And I wanted you guys to feel the excitement. I was in the hospital over the weekend and had a lot of things prepared and read of the Fed Reserve. And then, of course, I can't ever stay on topic or task and had to take some notations. And I just, really, you all will find this to be entertaining and I can stay in bed while I rest. So let's jump right in. Russia, we hear that if you live in the United States, you hear the country's name prolifically. Well, this is, by the way, not going to be political, so you can just go ahead and say, in non paradies and sentence free, and take a deep breath. This is fun, but moreover, this is financial, and let me offer a trigger warning for those. The truth is very, very, very truthful. So for those triggered by the truth, go ahead and click out now. This is not the stream for you. Russia holds more gold reserves than the US dollar. I found that to be extraordinarily interesting, being that the United States, to the best of my knowledge, wants to sanction Russia, who has a reserve of 16.12% United States dollars. Moreover, Russia and China have had a de-dollarization shindig going on since, I want to say, about 2014. There was an agreement they signed, 38 in 2014, from energy, a 3 billion yuan, so about 24 point back in 2017. So basically what all of America was I like to consider myself someone well educated, but damn, that's all I have to say. I suppose I was, I don't know, looking at a meme, but I would have to say that Moscow previously spearheaded Russia strategy when it perceived its own risk to punitive US financial measures. How fabulous, right? I mean, I can't think of anything better. And then to go on further to 2019, like, let's keep tracking. How am I doing? Am I doing okay? Because this is a lot. I have lupus, so I've got brain fog. I am a long hauler, so I've got that type of fog, pain, you name it. But 2019, to replace the dollar with national currencies and international settlements between them. So the financial coordination with Russia, it reduced its reliance on the greenback in trade. Now, I percent of Russia's exports in about 2013. And by the way, fact check the fuck out of me if I'm wrong with the dates. Again, drop it in the C section. I want to be corrected. I don't ever want to be someone falsifying or giving any incorrect information. But most of the decrease that we see today now in relation to that in 2013, so only like a little over half of the exports today in Russia are actually done in our US dollar. So China's kind of absorbing the shock of the trade. How brilliant, right? And apart from bilateral trade, Russia, like, begun its reserve, and what they're doing is they're using the euro. Fucking brilliant, right? Like, why didn't Saddam Hussein or Gaddafi think of that? Just hypothetical, alleged. Again, I'm not giving financial advice. I'm not even an expert. Well, I'll take that one back. In the field of finance, macroeconomics, digital asset management, blockchain technology, finance, that is my field of expertise. So I will take that one back. But the objective from 2013 essentially to 2020, and congratulations to every single American that doesn't know this, including myself. Way to be distracted, you guys. I guarantee you that we could all talk about even Kim and Kanye's marriage more so than we can talk about how in 2013 to 2020, Russia's central bank halved its dollar denominated reserves, and in 2021, it revealed the plan to completely ditch all the dollar assets from its sovereign fucking wealth. And instead, gold, the yuan, and the euro. Speaking of the euro, how interesting. And is projected to be by 2030 the biggest economy in the world, even though I personally already found China to be the biggest economy in the world. I'm not sure what economists base that on, but I did want to talk a little about the sanctions thing. I've never really been a fan. However, how much is it going to hurt Russia when the US sanctions them and they're not even using the dollar? 80% of Russia is being used with the yuan, the euro, and gold. Interesting, right? So uh, let's talk, I don't know, about things that could backfire potentially. So, as we all know, Aramco is the most, I would say, influentially important corporation in relation to oil. However, the biggest is coming out of Russia. So, you have the most important, Aramco, which is USA, KSA, which is Saudi Arabia. Batmana Asalam Lal Kil Ana Habak Habibis. I love the Middle East, so I love you guys if you're watching. So, Aramco, I would argue, is the most influential. KSA, USA owned Trans Arabian pipeline vibes. However, Russia's is the biggest. So, natural gas exports could be problematic actually with Scandinavian countries. And again, drop it in opinions, Austria, Finland, Germany. Sure, if that would be the best move. I think that Russia's reserves are about 640 billion, which is equivalent to about 1.5 years of export revenue. So that is suppose let's continue going on the Russia-China joint effort to push back against what they like to call dollar homogeny. It's a nice fancy word. But they definitely want to do that. The first half of 2020, bilateral trade settlements between China and Russia and the US fell to 46 from 90% in 2015. So again, dear America, and congrats on knowing everything about Kim and Kanye and then wondering potentially why our dollar is devaluing and then blaming politicians, but not getting a full spectrum picture of how macroeconomics might affect. And what is even crazier, I'd argue, is China's remained Russia's largest trading partner. So you have a digital yuan. So let's talk CBDCs. You guys will probably see this word all the fucking time. Central bank digital currencies. I know Orca Oshi, and again, shout out to Ronnie, we will be writing our 22 question commentary to the Federal Reserve because the United States Federal Reserve, for those that have said that I was crazy, would never go digital. Well, we will. And let's be very clear, central bank currency that is digital is not the same as blockchain technology. We can do a whole different video on that, but I'm trying to stay focused, which For those who know me and my pervasive ADHD, what I'm telling most of you is going to bore the shit out of some and enlighten the fuck out of others. So, whichever category you find is just sweet as a lay. And it might even change positions. I think I want to sit like this now. Okay, the Fed indicated that so let's talk about our Fed for a little bit, that they're not going to end QE till 2022, but in November 2021, they said that they would taper about $15 billion in December. And I always found that really interesting, right? Because nothing screams, let's start pulling shit off the balance sheet while Americans are shopping this shit out of Christmas, right? Nobody's paying attention to the Federal Reserve. Plus, you have Walmart and Amazon that can kind of carry the S&P, and that was always my prediction, and that's my story and I'm sticking to it. However, they've increased the tapering of mortgage-backed securities and bonds to $30 billion from January, which is now heavily underway. So that probably means tapering will have finished sometime, maybe mid-year, maybe not, who knows. Literally, again, I talk about the Carlyle Group and the extraordinary David Rubenstein, Larry Silverstein. You have some major power players. I mean, some of the most major power players. And Jerome Powell is the best that we can fucking do. Come on. Come on. I mean, we have the NASDAQ down from 50% from an all-time high. We've got Jerome Powell finally saying supply chain breakdowns and semiconductor chip shortages. Meanwhile, not saying a fucking thing about Taiwan, which manufactures majority of them. Iconic, right? Car prices being at an all-time high of a mere $46,000. Who knew? And let's just talk about the banks. I know I brought up in a video before that in 2020, the banks were not required to have cash reserves. However, I checked and then I double checked and then I triple checked because I thought, again, lupus, all of my underlying conditions must I must be the double visioned because they're fucking slaying. And by that, I mean like Great Recession numbers. However, they're closing branches in record numbers. Want to know why? Because it costs a hell of a lot less to operate a legit branch and they can make a lot more money with online banking. And their profit. I think the number that I found, and I have to look, hold on. 15.3 trillion in 2020 to 18.1 trillion in so I'd love to know where it goes. Perhaps Berkshire Hathaway could enlighten us all with their recent buys of Bank of America and Wells Fargo. Right? I don't know. Is that just me? Just me? Okay. By the way, fun know that. And so let's talk about just the People's Bank of China. You're going to see that term pop up a lot, and it's going to be an intimidating term because you're not going to know what it means. And it's just the Chinese central bank that says we've got 261, users and blah 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 blah. Then to 2021, that it's going to be worth 13.78 billion. That's what we ended 2021 with. But don't worry. So what American economists are saying, no worries, America. And even our Federal Reserve paper recently cited China as a competitor in relation to currency. So I have to say that I look forward for the responses. I can't wait to tell you guys. Maybe I'll go through the responses with you all. And then all of these places and cities that I can't pronounce any of them. I could give it a try, but Shanghai, beautiful place. I can't even fucking pronounce the cities. So, I mean, let's just see. The Treasury Secretary disappointed the shit out of me this week. Janet Yellen, come on, lady. She's like, I'm surging 7.5 inflation. It's not acceptable, but gosh, it would be so much worse without spending. This is why, again, if I do run for president, I'll run. Fuck that. I want to be the president of the Federal Reserve. I will be a legit monetarist. I give you my word now. I will be a daddy Greenspan for deregulation. I don't understand how she concluded that. I think she's been and graduated from so many colleges that are Ivy League, and I would like to know which ones taught her that. And what I do find some interesting things as we raise rates, China's lowering rates, as our tech stocks are going to shit. Their tech stocks are up 1.5 trillion. And while Bitcoin's going down, their digital yuan seems to be going up. However, it is not a blockchain per se, because blockchain is decentralized. And so if this is made by a central bank, then it is not truly decentralized. You tracking with me? The blockchain technology needs to be decentralized for it to be or maintain the integrity of the blockchain. So I do want to say, I don't know if anybody else has noticed this before I go, and I call it the Ray Dalio effect of what he calls Chinese capitalism, which is just a fancy word for fucking communism. Ugh. But I do remember this. Check luck out of me. Citigroup, JP Morgan, and Goldman Sachs all got approval to do different things. I know that custody for Citigroup specifically, and then JP Morgan, I forgot, and then Goldman Sachs, because of course, again, I remember this happened over the summer. And now we see Credit Suisse and Goldman Sachs saying to buy Chinese stocks, all AKA red stocks. And I'm just saying, WTF, SMH, why? So we want to invest in China's economy, even though they're trying to cactus fuck us? Okay, great. That's super patriotic, people. And then I just kind of wanted to bring the yield curve price. First off, the definitions are confusing as shit for a yield cost, okay? Consumer borrowing cost rise, consumer spending decreases, and companies report lower profitability. And in relation to, I was trying to find the best way to describe the yield curve, which is long-term debt that is fixed income should be riskier, allegedly. So you have a medium-term expectation for inflation that will drop. Short-term, the curve is moving high more quickly than the long. That causes the inversions. That makes sense? Literate. I am not one of. I can like copy paste and then like put it in my phone and be like, that China is going to set their monetary policy with reference to their. Maintaining competitive exchange rates against the world's largest consumer. However, I would think that would be us, being that we have a 70% GDP consumption. And I'm going to leave you with this. Let this sink in, people. Effects being felt in Asia, which is again why I find it just so weird that China is of concern, but they don't really say why. Because they say it doesn't have true monetary independence, but they seem to be fucking thriving, in my opinion. I mean, if the banks are trying to get permits to operate there, and Howard Marks again with Evergrande, we got to look at the real estate, but their economy is supposed to surpass, I mean, it's already surpassed the EU best by 2030. So something is not adding up. But I haven't heard Bloomberg even speak on this. I wonder why. I'm trying to think still of the yield curve. The relationship between the short. Or does that sound boring as fuck? It is boring as fuck, truthfully. The reason that it fucking matters is that it's a recession signal. And they're very rare because again, the long-term debt can carry a greater risk and higher interest rates. So when they occur, there are implications for consumers, investors, and just think of the yield inversion because you're going to see that a lot and people freak out. and they don't even know why they're freaking out, just think, okay, we have a depression recession signal, and we don't even use words like that. We use words like corrections now. And personal debt's at 15.6 trillion. So per adult, that's about 66,000, with 77% of US households owned by debt. Woohoo! We are fucking crushing it. I have so many questions. It seems like the tender swindler has a better idea of economics than Americans do. And America has the biggest credit card debt bill. We got about 850 billion just added, an increase of 50 billion just in the few last months. It's the largest in 22 years. 90% of adults have one credit card on their credit report, if you look at it. And you know what? Here's the deal. You don't have to do it. You don't have to play the game. You can get and do it digitally with us. Ronnie and I will specifically show you how to make the money move and get down with us digitally. Because Orca Oshi promotes financial equity and equitable standards. And ain't nothing equitable about a bank being able to tell you that your APR is going to go from 17% to 27% simply because the Fed Reserve discount rate raised 0.5% for them to borrow. Am I right or am I right? Why you don't need the middleman. And the average APR in America anyway is about 14%, and the average credit card balance is about 16,000%. You will know we're going to be paying for this for quite some time. And I just want to tell everyone I love you. Prepare, drop in the C-section. Let me know what you think about all of this. Let me know if you knew that Russia held the largest gold reserve, the fourth largest reserve in the world. It's the fourth largest reserve in the world. And allegedly, hypothetically, the digital yuan wants to be, I'm not sure if it is or not, because of course it's China and President Xi is like a modern day Mao, in my personal opinion. Love the people. But allegedly it's going to be backed by gold. I can't think of a better person to piss off than Putin and China. So we're just going to let them take over. We're stuck between a rock and a hard place, you guys. So even if you get the fuck off of social media, because there's just no way, if this many people are in debt, that the feed can be real. I'm so curious to see people's credit card statements, and I don't know, maybe it's sugar daddies. Let me know what you think. I love you guys. I thought you all would find this information so valuable. I damn sure know I did. So, Ana habak shatim te amo bisu subachi. Until next time.